And Anand Ranganathan, I want to get you in on this. Now they are going to call doctors, names the same doctors who put their lives on the line to protect people of India during the biggest pandemic that we saw in the last 1 century. I want to ask you now, I mean, politics aside, if it was a BJP versus a Trinamool Congress, we've got used to that. But now dragging in doctors and blaming the doctors and saying that they want to run a cartel. Now, is this what the Trinamool Congress wants to do now?
Navika, I want 10 seconds more.
Good evening.
No, you made your statement and you made it clear. According to you, this is the picnic of the doctors that is going on, and that is what you want to break.
According to me, this protest today was for selfish reasons by BJP. They don't care about...
You mentioned doctors, Tausif Khan. You mentioned doctors. Anand Ranganathan, I want to get you in. I want to get you in for such a senior, respected doctor like Dr. Kunal Sarkar, who's on the panel. He was summoned by the police because he was critical of the rape and the murder, and now he's being called, and then the entire class of doctors are being called a cartel that are running a racket in West Bengal. What more are we talking about in terms of the breakdown, complete breakdown of civil society that's happening? Because politics and the Sarkar itself is, breaking it brick by brick.
Good evening, Navika. Good evening to my fellow panelists. I've been waiting for 25 minutes patiently. I hope Tausif and my fellow panelists will give me the courtesy of at least a couple of minutes, because this is a very serious topic that we are debating. Navika, just when you think that things cannot degenerate any further, they do. But first of all, I'd like to say it is an honor to be sharing the panel with Dr. Kunal Sarkar. It tells you about the situation when one of the world's best cardiac surgeons has to come out, leave his scalpel for a bit, come out on the streets and protest about the safety of his fellow lady doctor. This is the situation we've descended to. And the kind of abuse and vilification that a preeminent cardiac surgeon like Dr. Sarkar has suffered over the past week, it is a reflection of the society we are living in. And it just refuses to shame us. We are not shamed by it. That's the first point I wanted to make. That when people like Dr. Kunal Sarkar are coming onto the streets, that itself tells you something is wrong. And all those policemen in Bengal, from the highest to the one who is a class 4 employee or whatever the situation might be in the police, I want you to look at Kunal Sarkar and see. He must have treated 10,000, possibly more patients, saved their lives. Did he ever ask them, are you from TMC? Are you from Congress? Are you from BJP? Are you a communist? I want the police commissioner whose bike the alleged rapist was using. I want him to see this panel right now and realize when Dr. Kunal Sarkar is treating patients without knowing their identity. Why are you policing once knowing the identity of people? Is this what you've reduced yourself to? Number two, Navika, this is not about the police action today. If somebody broke the law, broke the barricade, did not go or went where he or she was not supposed to, the police have a right to take action. This is about exposing the hypocrisy of the same police. The same police that is showering protesters with water cannons, hitting them with tear gas. Where were all these instruments on that night or morning of 15th August when a 7,000 strong mob, as accepted by Kapil Sibal, the Council of Bengal, charged on to SG Kar College? Where were they? Were they tear gassed? They were climbing onto the girls' hostel through the back door. Were they tear gassed? Were they water cannoned? Where did all these instruments suddenly disappear then? This is the same police who's been castigated for not filing an FIR for 11 hours and 10 hours after the autopsy was taken place, after the body was given away for cremation by the Supreme Court. I want to ask this same police commissioner, are you watching this, sir? You should be ashamed. And finally, the kind of things Gaurav Bhatia has said about Mamata Banerjee, if a common citizen like I or anybody else on the panel had said so, Kolkata police would have left everything taken a train or a plane, descended to Delhi to arrest me. This is the difference between political class and privilege that people like Gaurav Bhatia have and common citizens like us who are being chased daily by the Kolkata police.
I am the future that was born 100 years ago. I am the purpose that emerged with India's independence to be a force for business that makes doing good our business. Towards an independence where knowledge sets us free. To think big and achieve bigger. To take India to the world and the world to India. Creating pathways of self-reliance. To stand for progress, the planet and the people. Towards a future made perfect. And be a force creating abundance. Because independence is not a moment in history. It's a never-ending path to prosperity. Aditya Birla Group, a force for good.